Yeah, and representing herself is going to add a totally different, because the way you're describing it as, you know, her being a defendant, if she was listening to an attorney, you know, she's got a decent chance of saying, I didn't realize a guy could die by being in a suitcase, and I was really drunk. And you can hear how drunk she is when he's pleading with her, let me out, Sarah, and she's like, you should have thought of that before you cheated on me. She's blitzed, and that could be, you know, helpful. But if she's now presenting her own opening statement, and this is going to be bad for her. Is there any way, I mean, I know the judges said, listen, you have to now represent yourself. If she were to come to the court and say, give me one more chance with a public defender, do you think that that's an option?
Yes, she won't do that, but yes, the judge, because the judge wants nothing more than to be done with this case. And the judge is going to be done with this case if she has an attorney for two reasons. Number one, the case is going to be a lot more efficient. It's going to go fast, right? The worst thing for a system is a pro se defendant. A pro se defendant prolongs the process, makes the process clumsy, and judges are not equipped to. When you look at these trials on TV, right, they look like orchestrated symphonies and ballets, and they're so well choreographed by both sides, and the questions and answers and everything is so crisp. And when you don't like it as a judge, you say, come get a sidebar. No judge wants to take a sidebar with this lunatic, right? So for that reason alone, the judge is going to say, yes, you can have another shot, but you got to prove to me. But then the other reason is the case is probably not going to come back on appeal, right? Even with lawyers, sometimes it comes back on appeal. That's how frayed this is. There's a higher chance of it coming back on appeal if you defend yourself, because now you have just yet another piece of red meat to throw everybody. But you've also robbed yourself of the defense of being stupid. I can't tell you how many times, my first year as an attorney, I got a client in a meeting with the FBI. We say, hey, he's just an idiot. He's a complete moron, and no charges were brought against him. There's just a lot of stupid people. And this lady is a stupid person. And she robs herself of that entire thread of thinking, because she clearly is an idiot. I don't believe she intended to murder, you know, Jorge Torres with that video. I think she was just a complete moron and a criminal, but not a murderer. So I think the judge will say yes if she says, give me one more shot. I don't think the judge can say no.